Welcome to Busch Stadium. So we're going to try this St. Louis thing again. The Nats have lost 3 in a row. There have been some unusual circumstances to the 0-3 in St. Louis so far. Trying to straighten that out tonight, and also the Nats are trying to straighten out their act overall on the road. Good evening. I'm Bob Mikey Morse along. In a moment, let's talk about this home and road thing. The old adage in baseball is win your home games, be well over 500, keep it 500 or so on the road, and you got a chance to play in October. But it's not going that way for the Nats. At one point this year, they were 20-9 from the end of March until the end of May, and then in June it fell apart. The Nats have lost 24 of their last 34 road games. That's not going to get it done no matter how well you play at home or how well you do some of those other things. So, Mike, you've been on both sides with the white uniform and the gray uniform. Is there something that makes it that much tougher to play away from home?
Well, if you asked me, the hardest part about playing away is the West Coast trips. Yeah. You know, being in the air for a long time, you know, you got to start looking at how long the trip is, the flight times. Then second, what time do the guys arrive at the parks? But the thing is that this month there's been no West Coast trips. Yeah. It's been all pretty much close flights. So you really can't look at the flight problem. It's more of just, you know, playing in the wins and losses. Yeah, the Nats were done with the West Coast and travel well before the end of May when things were still going pretty well. Talked about some of the weird circumstances of this series so far. Walk-offs, a pitcher hits a home run, and then last night our guy, Jeremy Hellickson, on a play at the plate lands on his right wrist. Just weird stuff going on this series, just awkward injuries. And here's another guy he's been on the DL this year, and now we got to put him back on. Or you just hate to see a guy like this, and he's been pitching so well for us. You know, I thought he had another inning or two. It's still in the tank, and I think the Nats could have used that last night. Yeah, so Hellickson hamstring earlier, wrist this time. We'll see how it goes next couple of days. But along with the Mets, the Nats have lost the most player games to injuries. I mean, that is so far above the major league average. It's just kind of crazy. One guy who is alive and healthy and pitching so well is Tanner Roark right now. Brandon Kinsler, now a Cub, helped him with the sinker several starts ago, and in the second half, and especially these last 4 times out, Tanner has been the Tanner Roark that we really admired from years past. You know what? Command, command, command. He is keeping that sinker out of the big part of the strike zone. He's hitting the sides, and it's got so much run on it and movement that lefties beware, because that thing comes right back over for a strike. When it comes out of his hand, it looks like it's really in, and it's a great strikeout pitch, and he's using it, and he's having a lot of success with it. And for Tanner, it's making his other pitchers better as well. He has changed speed well. There's a great changeup. He's thrown the breaking ball. I mean, you go into Wrigley and pitch like he did the other day. That is a tough place to win on the road. So, looking for Tanner with Max, of course, set to start the series back home against Miami. Now, what about Bryce? He's had a good series, 4 hits. I noticed today he has broken into the top 10 in the league in extra base hits with 51, and that's the Harper the Nats need, doubles and home runs. Yeah, if you look at his numbers, they're great. He's got great numbers all around. The only thing he's lacking, his batting average. You know what? It's the StatCast era. Batting average is no big deal these days. There's so much more to him right now. And we see it, we're seeing it this series. He's making an impact day in and day out. And it's just, like you said, it's fun to watch. In this series, Bryce is 4 for 12 with a double, couple of homers, 3 RBIs. So Tanner and Bryce, the key go-to guys for the Nats tonight.
PNC Bank. There's no better time to act than today, PNC. Make today the day. That's the Cardinals' version of Half Street right there. They call it Clark Street. Ballpark Village on the left, stadium on the right. And it has been a sizzler with lots of humidity during the day. In fact, I think since mid-afternoon, the humidity's probably gone down about 20%. 87 at game time. Bright sunshine in St. Louis, and here's Daniel Murphy having a good series. And why not? He's been good against the Central, 426. Here in St. Louis, he's 4 for 11 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And Daniel, last 7 games, 13 for 27. So Adam Eaton's back in the lineup tonight. That puts Bryce in center. Matt Wieters catching, and Tanner Roark, of course. And the Nats will face for the first time 24-year-old Luke Weaver, 6-10 on the year, 24th start.
Yeah, another guy, young kid, 24 years old, like you're saying. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good changeup. Another guy that a starter they got with a not just average changeup, but a very good changeup. And you'll see him throwing a curveball. He's got great command. But you know, one thing that he's been what he's been doing is he's been pitching. He hasn't been pitching over 100 pitches in the last 7 of his starts. So you know, that's something good that the Nats can finally use a guy that doesn't throw as much.
0 runs of support each of his last 2 starts. So we're underway right on time at 6:15 in St. Louis. 7:15 for those of you back home, and Adam Eaton takes a strike.
He also leads the starting staff with homers given up too, with 16. So let's try to make it 17 or 18 today.
Yeah, it's been kind of hittable. Batting average, opponent's batting average, just under 270 on the year. Adam Eaton in the series, 1 for 9, a sacrifice. He's been hit by a pitch. Bryce is in the number 3 spot. Trey Turner on deck. The Nats are 7th in the league in batting average, 5th in runs, and 5th in home runs. Here's the 0-2, target in, and he misses upstairs.
Yeah, he's been inconsistent as of late, but like we've seen this series, all the Cardinals starters have pretty much stepped it up a little bit. And you know, it's just another one of their young, fantastic arms.
Yeah, it's interesting that their starting rotation at AAA Memphis this year has, for the most part, become their starting rotation at the major league level. Amazing depth in the organization. Weaver is 14-16 career, 42nd career start. Yeah, Austin Gomber was really good last night, the lefty. And a 1-2 to Eaton. Had him reaching, and that's a pop-up right side, Colton Wong.
Yeah, we were told Martinez, when he comes back, is going to probably be pitching out of the bullpen because these guys are displaying such a great job.
Yeah, they're going to take an old-time approach with Carlos Martinez, have him throw out of the pen, build up some innings, and then eventually put him back in the rotation. There's Mike Schilt, and since he took over, the Cardinals are now 19-9. It's the best start over 28 games of any manager in their history, and that goes back a ways. Here's Trey, 2 for 14 in the series. Still checking in with the 8th most hits in the National League with 131.
Yeah, when you're a first-time manager, you never know how the team's going to react to you and how they liked or they didn't like the past manager. So coming into a situation like this, and especially a guy that, hey, he's never played Major League Baseball. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. He hasn't been at this level. So to coach, to manage a team and have this kind of success is, I mean, you could kind of, it makes him, he's a brilliant guy. No matter what he's doing, it's working.
It is. So they're putting some heat on the Brewers. Milwaukee's already in town. Trey Turner, a liner, and finally a line drive that somebody couldn't catch over on that side. Greg Garcia is the third baseman tonight, not Jed Jerko, and Trey Turner checks in with a knock, and let's see if the Nats can get something going, because as Trey goes, so go the Nats at the top of the order with the running game.
Yeah, I think FP just texted you, Bob, on your phone there. And what does it say? No hitter, bye-bye?
There goes the no hitter. Well, it's about time. That is the first base hit the Nationals have had in the first inning of any game in this series. Quick throw over. St. Louis defensively, they've had a great series. Both teams have been sparkling with defense. Harrison Bader, the young center fielder, has impressed us with his speed and his arm. Yadier Molina's catching all 4 games of the series. Harper hits a fair ball, hits the short corner. Looked like a fan came close to touching it. And coming home is Turner, and he's safe. Trey Turner kept on going, and the Nats lead 1-0 on another Bryce Harper RBI hit. Now, if there is fan interference, the umpires have the option of judging whether or not the runner would have scored.
Yeah, it looks like the umpires aren't really making a big deal about it, but of course we're going to see it right here. It looks very close. She's leaning over, and
he got it.
Yeah, he leaned over and he just absolutely stopped it. Yeah. Now they got to figure out if where Turner was when that kind of happened.
So Bryce stings another one. That's his 52nd extra base hit. And now for Bryce, 28 of his last 49 hits for extra bases.
Can they say that's a single for Bryce?
No, it's got to be a double. All right, we're going to see where the ball is and where the lead runner is. The fact that they're calling Mike Schilt over to explain it indicates to me they're going to tell him that the Nats have scored a run. See, right there, is he going to throw Trey Turner out at home? The play pretty much developed similar to what it would have had the fan not touched it. So we'll see what the result is here.
This will be interesting because the fan touches it way before Trey even got to third.
Crew chief is the first base umpire, Mark Carlson, and that was pretty much his call down the right field line. So I don't see anybody telling Trey Turner to go back on the diamond, and the Nats evidently lead 1-0.
47-23 when they score first.
You know, and I think along with this, where Trey was when the fan touched it right there, yeah, he did slow it down a little bit, and O'Neill had a ways to go. It doesn't hurt when you're one of the top 3 or 4 fastest guys in baseball to get that call.
And don't forget great base running.
RBI number 75 for Bryce Harper. Here's Anthony Rendon. 35 RBIs his last 49 games. He's had a good series. Boy, the Nats are up there hacking. That's a Sunfield out there. O'Neill to his left, tagging and going to third, Bryce Harper. So the boys are attacking and hitting the ball hard early in the count here. Soto is next. Anthony Rendon, even with that out in the series, 4 for 10, 3 walks, 4 runs. Nats looking for Soto to make it a crooked number. Juan in the series, 3 walks, 2 for 8. He's hit a homer, driven in a couple. Inside, good take. Did you see the Mets score this afternoon? First game of a doubleheader at Philadelphia. They beat the Phillies 24-4. So the Mets finally on the top end of one of those scores. That kind of beats you up for a nightcap if you're the Phillies.
at least for your bullpen. Changeup, 3-0.
The worst is taking an offer in that first game into the second. You're begging for a hit or two.
By the way, the Braves are hosting the Rockies tonight. Ronald Acuna Jr. is in the lineup. Soto swinging on 3-0. High in the air, Ozuna, left center. Nats get a run. Turner a single, then screaming around the bases on a Harper double for the first run. It's number 75 for Bryce. And Tanner Roark gets a run with which to work as he takes on Matt Carpenter, Harrison Bader, and the Cardinals. Yeah, Carpenter's back in the lineup after being hit on the hand last night. Molina 4 games in a row, and Bader had a 3-hit game last night. So against the Nats in this series, couple of RBIs, a walk, 4 for 10. And he and Michael A. Taylor were trying to outdo each other in center field with defensive plays last night. Tanner is 1-2 careers, 5 games, 3 starts against St. Louis.
You know, earlier in the season, he just wasn't getting that run support like we wished he would have had. It was tough for him to get some wins. And then ever since the break, he's been just absolutely lights out. I mean, we've seen Tanner pitch like this before.
Carpenter launches one to center. Bryce Harper checking his surroundings. That ball about 395 on the first pitch.
You know, we've seen him pitch like this, but he reminds me of the bulldog mentality of Max Scherzer. It's good to have another guy that you could just see determination on his face, and he's out there, man, and he's giving it all he's got, and he's gonna give you some great stuff. And his sinker has been just lights out. He's keeping it off of the middle of the plate, and he's just hitting the corners, and it's moving.
Here's Molina, 3 for 12 in the series with a walk and an RBI. 4 for 8 against Tanner career. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes. I know what the Cardinal announcers are saying right now. Matt Carpenter just missed on the bat his 34th home run of the year. 5 feet from going out of the ballpark, but a big out for Tanner to start his evening.
You know, during his 4-game winning streak there, batter's only hitting .213, and the stat that I love, and I'm not a big stat guy, but the stat that I love is 2 extra base hits during that time.
Ray in on the hands of the St. Louis catcher. Nationals defense, fewest errors in the big leagues. So with Adam Eaton back in tonight, Bryce shuffles over to center. All the regulars on the infield. Matt Wieters back in, and Matt's playing well, hitting well. 10 hits his last 9 games.
Molina's on a 7-game hitting streak, and he's going to sky one to deep center. This one about 8 feet shorter than the one before it, and Tanner using the ballpark to his advantage so far.
Yeah, he's leaving the ball up a little bit, and I mean, he's getting the outs, but he knows it that, you know, he needs to get the ball down a little bit. But when he's going well, he gets a lot of ground balls, and he's up there in the NL with double play balls, ground balls and stuff. So
6 innings or more 18 times this year. And another fly ball. Ryan Zimmerman over to have a look, and he's got room. 3 fly balls on 6 pitches. That's a shutdown inning after your teammates put you on top. Down here. Nats taking some good swings. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. National League highest on base percentage plus slugging guys since the 28th of July. So a period of right around 3 weeks. Ronald Acuna Jr. As mentioned, back in the Braves lineup tonight. Ryan's right in the hunt. Rice is right between Turner and Braun. And Ryan Zimmerman, as if on cue. How did that happen? Leads off the top of the second. Last 10 games, 13 RBIs, 13 hits. In this series, 3 for 8 with a run batted in. "15 pitches, 9 strikes. Luke Weaver, first inning.
funny to call Zim the old guy.
And a wise take, 2-0.
But for me, he'll always be Mr. Nat.
I know. I was so shocked when Ryan turned 30. He'll be 34 September 28th. 3-0. Now Soto just hit a fly ball on 3-0 to end the first inning. So 18 games since the break. Ryan, fantastic. Huge series at Wrigley over the weekend. And he's taking on 3-0.
Yeah, Ryan's not a big 3-0 hitter. Some guys like it. Some guys, you know, rather just take it. I remember talking to him one time. He's like, 3-0, eh.
'93 upstairs. 3-2. Nissan pitch cast.
Almost the same pitch, but just a little higher. Almost out of the zone.
You guys like those high fastballs, don't you?
Just got to get on top of it and just touch it sometimes.
Couldn't get on top of that one as Weaver goes 94 miles an hour for the strikeout. Here's Daniel Murphy. Hit one a mile here, 425. to lead off the 9th inning last night.
Well, Murph got all that one. He didn't get cheated.
Gave the Nats a chance to come back. They couldn't finish it off and lost 4-2. So the Nationals now 145 homers, $250 more to the Children's National Health System from our Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers. Lexus, experience amazing. They're going to donate that for the first 200 Nationals home runs. So Murph has 6 now. 13 hits his last 7 games. Off speed had him kind of reaching for that one. Easy play, Matt Carpenter, 2 down. Against both pitchers. And obviously the scouting report was these guys have been around the plate. A lot of early count swinging.
Yeah, the Nationals are very aggressive today. And why not? You know they're going to throw strikes. You know, that's one thing Weaver has. He has great command. Great command of the fastball. See it and hit it.
Weaver and Wieters. Matt's 10 for his last 29. Spotted the curveball and took it. Sac fly in the 9th inning last night. So Matt in this series 3 for 8, 3 batted in. Trying to extend it to Tanner Roark here in the top of the 2nd. That one got the edge.
It's always good to get your pitcher hitting in the 2nd inning. Something was going on.
Yeah. And Wieters to right. Tyler O'Neill. So 1, 2, 3 go the Nats. Roark back to work. Things happening quickly. So let's delve into what Tanner Roark does on the mound.
So here's what we mean about Tanner. This is before the half. Just leaving the ball over the middle, especially it's not getting that comeback kind of run to it. And so you know what he said? He said, you know what? I'm going to go on the outside of the corner here and let it try to come back in. So it's hard for a righty to hit that because when it comes out of his hand, it looks so far away. And then like right here, it comes right back into the zone. He gets the strikeout. That's tough to hit. That's not a ball that a righty's looking to do some damage with. So what we see is Tanner is using both sides of the plate and trying not to leave the ball over the middle.
Yeah, we know what big league hitters do to that. Well done, Mike. Well done, crew. And here we go to the bottom of the 2nd. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for St. Louis. So Ozuna, DeYoung, and Wong.
You know, big league pitchers get in trouble usually when you hear a pitcher say, oh, I made a mistake. It's usually, I made a mistake because I threw the pitch over the heart of the plate and the batter hit it. Now, if a pitcher does what he wants to do, it's usually not, hey, I'm going to throw a pitch down the middle. It's usually, hey, I'm going to hit a corner. I'm going to try to you know, change off speed, go down. So you always try to not get to that heart of the plate.
1 ball, 1 strike to Ozuna. Well, and some pitchers who throw 95, 97, 98, they can get away with those. But the guys who have to be fine, whose fastballs are in the lower 90s, they've got to be location perfect, and that was outstanding. Looked like a strike to Ozuna when he started to swing. Watch where it ends up.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. He's keeping it right on the corner of the plate. It's almost like teasing him. Like, here it is. Let's see what you can do with it. And like you were saying, Bob, pitchers that throw hard, they kind of work the ladder. They kind of go up, 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 and try to get that batter to swing through the ball. But I think, personally, it's harder to pitch when you don't have that velocity. Because you have to be a pitcher. You have to be a student of the game and actually learn how to get batters out.
Yeah, and that time Ozuna, sensing the ball might come back, you saw his feet moving out toward home plate. Now it's 3-2. Two-hopper. Rendon had to back up. That thing had some hair on it. Zimmerman gets back to the bag. Kind of a casual sidearm flip by Anthony, and his first baseman got the out.
Yeah, good heads-up play here by Zim. Little off throw there. That, you know, it's tough to put a ball right on the money every time sidearm. I mean, we see him do it. We see him do it day in and day out. We see Rendon do it day in and day out. But you know, sometimes if you just take a little bit off and you just try to ease it over there, it's hard to put it on the money.
Inside edge to DeYoung. Monday night's walk-off hero. He was 1 for 5 that night, but he got the big hit that beat the Nats, and they pitched him pretty well. 2 for 11 here. Matt Wieters not afraid to set inside targets, and Tanner's working it well. Let's go inside the numbers presented by PNC. Make today the day. Since the All-Star break, look at the ranks. 121 on the ERA. They're not hitting against him. They're not getting on base or slugging. Walks, hits per innings pitched really low. There's another tapper to the left side. Here comes Rendon. Now that one right on target. 2 down.
Execution. The biggest thing that a pitcher can do is execute. Have a game plan and go with it and trust it. And Tanner, you could tell he has a game plan to each batter. He has an idea how he's going to pitch them, and now all he has to do now is execute it. And we're seeing him with his command, and he's not leaving a lot over the middle. So when a pitcher executes his game, it's hard to hit.
Here's Colton Wong, who's had a heck of a series. Curveball, a beauty to the outer edge. So Wong has hit as low as 8th in this series. Last night he hit 7th. Tonight he's 6th. Get some hits, you'll keep rising.
Yeah, he could keep rising, but I don't think he's going to be batting in that one hole, that leadoff with Carpenter there. He's going to have to get some hot. He can do that tomorrow.
Yeah, they got the Brewers coming here for a huge NL Central series. Roark tried to punch him out in a fastball. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast. Three ground balls in this inning after 3 fly balls in the first. So Tanner getting it done, that's a great sign when he's got hitters rolling it around the infield.
Players in the clubhouse about 20 minutes after the game huddled around video monitors watching tape. One of them, Adam Eaton, who told me earlier today that what he noticed when watching tape was that his backside, meaning the left half of his body in the batter's box, wasn't working as well as it should. He saw on tape that in previous years he was staying on the ball better, which was keeping his head steady. Despite his positive results this year, Eaton has told me a few times over the last handful of weeks that he hasn't felt great mechanically, and he's gotten into some bad habits over this year as he's worked back from that major knee and ankle injury. He wants to make sure that he's using both his legs and staying on that backside, which he thinks, guys, will lead to more power and more consistently finding the barrel.
That would be great. And Tanner Roark's going to bat before Adam Eaton here. Thanks, Dan. Top of the third. Tanner 8 for 46 on the year with 7 runs batted in. Got a breaking ball and he took it right back from where it came. And the first time around the order, the Nationals go 3 for 9. When the Nats scores 7 runs or more and win, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Promo code Nats50. Enjoy the quality pizza you've come to expect from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Eaton a pop-up, first time up. Weaver had him reaching for a pitch away. Greg Garcia is on the grass at third. Carpenter, with the pitcher running, actually playing first base right in front of Tanner Roark, kind of taking the lead off with him. It'll happen here in a second. After Tanner, checked in with Tim Bogart. Molina sliding way inside.
You know, some managers don't like the players to watch video, especially during the game, because you kind of tend to get a little mechanical instead of just going out there and just, you know, reacting to the balls and stuff. But I think video is such a great tool, you know, if used right, especially to see balls and strikes and where your plate discipline is during that game.
Eaton a good take on a pitch in.
But as a hitter, if you go up there and you feel like you just missed one, you know you just missed one. You don't have to go back and watch it on tape and say, yeah, look, I just missed one. You know it. You know how you kind of hit the ball, or if you could have hit it better.
2-2. So Adam Eaton works the count full, IDing the off-speed pitch.
But for Eaton to know that his backside, his legs aren't working right, that's great for him, because now he can understand why he's not feeling the right way or the way he wants to feel at the plate.
3-2. Roark at first, and Adam Eaton will pop it up again. Carpenter will drift back fair with the ball, just a couple of feet away from Tanner Roark. Trey Turner around the bases, first inning. StatCast AI powered by AWS. So Bryce hits the double. Watch this guy.
Yeah, he just takes off. It looks so easy, man, for him to run. Oh, just and the thing is, the cutoff is as if the runner was just going to lay up at third. When Carpenter turned around, he almost couldn't believe it, that he was actually almost home.
Turner has another hit. Roark stops at second, and Trey, for the second time in a row, attacking early in the count, pulled it first time. That one he flares it over the shortstop, 2 on 1 out.
Yeah, 2 solid contacts for Trey. Almost the same spot both at bats, the pitches. But he's got that nice swing, that very level swing. He's not that uppercut guy that we see a lot of guys doing these days. He's very, very level.
Tanner Roark on a gapper. Better be on the move. Somebody will be gaining on him. And here's Bryce, who's been hitting gappers and balls down the line lately. Big situation for the Nats here, trying to add on 3rd inning. And the fastball goes right by Bryce's batting gloves, ball 1.
240 average with a high on base percentage. And then some other incredible numbers.
Yeah, I said the other night his next threshold to break was 240. So set sights on 250 sometime soon. That's a base hit. Nats will have the bases loaded with 1 out. Bryce Harper 2 for 2, and in the series he's now 6 for 14.
You know, when do we erase the whole Bryce is having a bad year thing?
Now.
Because
just my opinion. Now.
I mean, Bob, I've been here just this series, and if I didn't know any better, if I wasn't watching baseball for the whole year, I would say this guy has been absolutely on fire, which he has. But his numbers, I mean, he's backing it up with his numbers.
Anthony Rendon lined out to right on the first pitch he saw after the Harper RBI double 2 innings ago. So the Nats have a golden opportunity on the road here to double, triple, or whatever the lead. Anthony's driven in 58 this year. That's a breaking ball that stays upstairs.
Looks like we might have some early bullpen action. The Cardinals bullpen.
Yeah, they're stirring out there, aren't they?
What?
1-1. So Tanner Roark singled leading off the inning after Eaton popped up. Turner over the shortstop. Bryce cleanly to right. Harper's getting about a 20-foot lead at first with Matt Carpenter playing deep. Rendon seeing a lot of off-speed breaking stuff here, and now the count has leverage. 2-1.
Yeah, base hit, scores 2. Speedy Gonzalez at second.
Did not go, and it's 3-1. Adrian Johnson, the plate tonight, 13-year veteran. Mark Carlson, there's Tyson Ross, Joe's kid brother. On a day when Joe made a rehab, pardon me, older brother. On a day when kid brother made a rehab start for Potomac, Tyson's warming up against the Nats. Big pitch here. Anthony Rendon was late for 93. He doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes at all.
Ever. 3-2. Might as well be 0-0 with this guy.
Yeah, ball's got to get in play here if it's a strike. And a base hit to left. Turner following Roark. Bob Henley will stop him. Ozuna's got a good arm, even though some shoulder issues lately. The line is moving for the Nats. So Tanner scores, and Anthony Rendon has 59 runs batted in. 4 singles in the inning.
Yeah, I said base hit, scores 2, but I didn't say a line drive hard hit right at the guy, scores 2. But all right. It's good to see a line keep moving.
So Mike Maddox to the mound. Soto is next.
And the Nats have a big inning brewing. And worthy of note, first inning of the nightcap, the Mets just got 2 against the Phillies. So they've outscored them 26-4 today. Nats are up by 2 here. First time Juan Soto hit, it was 3-0. He got the green light and flied out to left center. Well, it took Adrian Johnson, the umpire, a while to break it up, and he's telling Yadier Molina, let's go. He's being ignored by the Cardinal catcher.
Yeah, I wonder if they're trying to buy some time right now and get their guy warmed up in the pen.
Ball 1, off speed. He's really tried to go soft against the Nationals hitters here. And he's fallen behind a couple.
We're seeing right now how long this lineup is. Just hitter after hitter is just, it just keeps going. It just keeps going down. I mean, when you got Daniel Murphy at the bottom of the lineup, I mean, you got to have a strong lineup in front of him.
Soto pops it up. Infield fly rule in effect. It's close enough to the infield. That's a big out for Luke Weaver, and it's up to Ryan Zimmerman with 2 outs. No fees. It's a no-brainer, yeah, for the rest of the season. So all remaining 2018 games you have tonight until 11:59 p.m. Go to nationals.com, enter code all games, all caps, to pay no fees. One word, all caps, all games. Kind of like ball games, we just took off the B. And here's Ryan Zimmerman, who struck out on a couple of elevated fastballs, first time up.
Oh.
Ryan with 35 RBIs. Spits on that one, 2-0, enhancing his chances of getting a fastball. Popped it up. O'Neill. The Nats will get 1 on 4 hits, and it's 2-0 in the middle of the third. Got out of that jam. No better time to act than today as we smoothly segue on our PNC Minor League Insights. Make today the day, by the way. And today was the day for Joe. He hit a couple of batters in the 4th inning at the very end of his rehab assignment today. But look at that, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 63 pitches. The ratio was good, not fantastic, but hey, what do you expect first time out? Well done, Joe Ross, and hope to see him on a big league mound in September. Bottom 3, Tanner Roark efficient. Here's Harrison Bader, showed bunt and got Rendon on the move in from 3rd.
Yeah, you got to play extra close with this guy.
4 for 10 in the series, a walk, couple of RBIs. 2 really good plays in center field. Dexter Fowler, of course, on the DL for a while for St. Louis. Left foot fracture. May not play again this year, and there is opportunity in the St. Louis outfield for young talent. This kid they have playing right field tonight, Tyler O'Neill. He can slug. They gave Jose Martinez the night off, and that's a good thing for the Nats. He was 6 for 13 in the series. Bader, Garcia, and Weaver. High fly ball, deep left, Soto back, and this game is tied. Pardon me, 2-1 now. The Nats did pick up another run. And for Harrison Bader, his 9th of the year. Didn't mean to alarm you, a leadoff homer has to be a solo. My bad. And for Bader, 9 homers, 23 RBIs. Now that was some launch angle.
Yeah, you know, you don't see it anymore. Super fast guys like Bader with power, but he's about to, you know, he has a chance of getting 15 homers or so this season.
Looking at his minor league numbers, he hit 50 homers in 3 years in the minors. Number 8 hitter is Greg Garcia. Valuable utility man for the Cardinals. He's usually their only left-handed bat off the bench, playing 3rd base tonight. And he's going to get called out as Tanner Roark does some painting. Low in the zone, inside edge. Strikeout number 1. Nissan, pitch cast.
Yeah, good pitch. Kind of got back on his plan, stayed away. You know, just made that one mistake to Bader right before the at bat, and I think he wished he could get that pitch back and just execute on the corners.
Here's Luke Weaver. He can swing it, 203 career hitter. Those are his numbers this year, 6 for 35. Up and away.
You know, usually a guy like Bader, you want him to hit the ball on the ground, but like you said, he had two seasons in the minor leagues. He had 50 homers, so you can't tell a guy like that, hey, try to hit ground balls.
Tanner's given up 17 on the year. Right now pitching his 147th inning of the season. Had him reaching. Trey Turner. Pitcher getting down the line pretty well. Wearing that single-digit number like a regulation hitter. Jonas. It's Nick Jonas post-game concert. August 23rd to support strikeout slavery after the Nats play the Phillies next week at 105. After the game, a great cause, a great performance with Nick Jonas. Visit Nationals.com to find out more about the concert and the cause. Here's Matt Carpenter. First pitch for Roark,
Fly ball to center, pretty deep, put Bryce on the track. And the curveball just wouldn't come back. 2-0. Matt Carpenter and Bryce Harper leading their teams in runs, home runs, and walks. Carpenter 82, 33, and 77. Bryce 76, 30, and 71. So when you consider how often the two of them are walked, Bryce 91 times, Carpenter 77 times, you really get a read on the damage they're doing when somebody tries to pitch to them. 3-0 here, and there's the walk. Tanner's first to the game. He'll face Yadier Molina. Got him on a fly ball to center. It's interesting. Milwaukee's coming to town for a big series. The Cardinals have won 3 games in a row against the Nats. But Yadier Molina is not getting any days off. This is his 24th consecutive start. And by today's standards, that's almost unheard of for a catcher.
Yeah,
especially one 36 years old.
That's old school right there.
Yeah, and he, you know, I don't know. He might have gone to Mike Schultz and said, "Hey, I'm good. Put me in."
Yeah, Yadi's that kind of guy, especially with how the team's playing. You don't want to sit.
Yeah, you don't want to break up any momentum. And he takes one to left. Didn't get it. Didn't quite have the sound, and Soto has it. So Bader homers. The Nats still lead by a run. Middle innings in St. Louis coming. For Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. That's the Eads Bridge on the right. The first bridge to cross the mighty Mississippi back in the 1800s. And here in the year 2018, Cardinals are finding out a few things about a young kid who can play center field and slug. So the Nats need to keep the offense going. They've been good so far. 2 runs, 6 hits already, 4 stranded. Murphy, Wieters, Roark.
You know, after Murph hit that homer yesterday, when he touched home plate, Yadi told him great swing, and Murph said thanks. And it just shows you what kind of guy Yadi is. He's just such a student of the game on both sides. If you do something right, he wants to tell you.
Yeah, then he'll devise a way to get you out next time. That ball really carried. That was an off-speed pitch that Murphy hit down near the end of the bat, and Daniel almost muscled it out.
Yeah, his swing is looking really good right now. You know when Murph's doing good is when he's using the whole field, but mainly gap to gap. He's a very gap to gap hitter. And now you can see it, the ball is just really carrying off his bat. And you know, look for Murph to stay hot and do some damage in the next couple days.
Here's Matt Wieters. Fly ball to right first time. Supposed to be partly sunny, 93 in DC tomorrow. That could help a few balls stay in the air for a while. Change up, a beauty, diving away from Wieters. 1-1. Phillies have picked up 3, and in the nightcap they lead the Mets 3-2.
Another big crowd here, Bob.
Every night here. Most years the Cardinals open the turnstiles and automatically they draw 3 million or more. They haven't been to 40,000 in this series. Some weeknights. There are kids back in St. Louis, here in St. Louis, I think went back to school yesterday. So some of the crowd's not as big as normal.
They got that one section in the right side, right in the sun. I think a lot of the fans wait until the sun goes down to go to their seats.
Yeah, they never know when a Michael Morse Grand Slam type swing might be approaching them over there. That's the rooftop. That's actually across Clark Street on the other side.
Rooftop baseball. Cubbies had it for a while.
1-2 to Wieters. Off speed. This guy's really keeping some of the hitters off balance. And Tanner Roark already 1 for 1. Will have his second AB here. So it's Game of Thrones night Saturday when the Nats face the Marlins. 7:05 ball game. First 10,000 fans get a Michael A. Taylor Game of Thrones figurine. You can take photos on the Iron Throne. Find out about it. Be your own star for season 8. Coming up, Nationals.com. You never know what a hit by the pitcher will lead to. It led to 4 Nats hits last inning. So Tanner has 9 hits on the year. Max has 15. Steven Strasburg on the disabled list, the next closest at 4.
Yeah, he's a table setter. He started it. I like that.
So 1 inning later, the Nats have a chance to, well, they will turn over the lineup here and be in good shape at the top for the 5th. Roark had a design on right field with that swing. Pretty good hack, 1-2. (1-1) Rockies at Braves. Still early there, bottom of the second. That's John Gray for Colorado, Julio Teheran for Atlanta. Tanner getting his money's worth.
I'll give you a blast from the past. The Shark, Roger Bernardina, texted me today and tell you hello, Bob.
The Shark, we love Roger Bernardina.
He's over in the Korean League.
Good for him. We will never forget the game-saving catch he made in Houston. Up the middle, Tanner Roark is 2 for 2. Look out, Max. Tanner has double-digit hits with 10. Scherzer will probably pick up a couple tomorrow night. So that keeps the inning alive for Adam Eaton.
You know, like I said earlier, just the mentality, the Bulldog mentality, the Scherzer mentality, I swear it's rubbing off on this guy because we're seeing him compete like no other, and especially since the half, he's just been so focused, and not only just pitching, but these at bats. He's having great at bats, and he's helping himself out, especially last inning with leading off the inning with a base hit.
Well, Adam Eaton eager to get something going. Weaver has popped him up twice to second and to first. It's Max and Dan Straley tomorrow night. Tommy Malone, Wei-Yin Chen
7 o'clock game on Saturday, and then Sunday, 1:35, Gio and Pablo Lopez. Jose Urena got a 6-game suspension for hitting Ronald Acuna Jr. And you might recall the Dodgers and Giants had a brawl a couple of nights ago, and Yasiel Puig got 2 games for his role in that fracas. Two-0 changeup.
Nice healthy hack right there. Sometimes you just got to let it eat and see where you are with your swing. See how it feels.
Three and 2, and that's big. Gives Tanner Roark a chance for a head start at first. So Tim Bogart checks in with him. Matt Carpenter playing about 15 feet behind him. Trey Turner having a hot night is next, and a hotter guy behind him. Adam Eaton sees it inside. 2 on, 2 out. Good at bat by the Nats leadoff man. Weaver's first walk. Trey has gone to left. He's gone over the shortstop, and he scored a run tonight. Now has 133 hits. Tyson Ross up again. Won't take him long to get hot if they need him. Pitch count mounting on the 24-year-old right-hander. Yeah, the Nats have already had 6 at-bats with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, what a great at-bat he just had. He got a couple pitches where he took some big swings, and then the longer the bat went, he got more focused on, all right, my strike zone and getting on base. And that's what a good leadoff hitter does, and he kind of just showed us right there. I mean, he took a one real big hack at the fastball up, and then after that he just zoned up and got a walk.
40 strikeouts, 20 walks on the year. How big was it? Trey Turner will let us know. Two and 1. And I'm sure Mike Schilt does not want Bryce Harper batting in this inning.
Might be this might be Weaver's last hitter if he can't get him out.
A lot of big pitches for the youngster early in this game. And Trey extending, thought it was close enough. You better be hacking.
Yeah, that's all you can do with that pitch is just foul it off and fight. Live the battle. Get you another pitch. Just keep fighting it off. Fight off those tough ones.
2-1 Nats. They've out-hit the Cardinals 7-1. Spinning ground ball to the right side. Turner hustling. And the ball is dropped by Matt Carpenter. Bases loaded for Bryce Harper.
There's that D, Bob.
Well, that's how they played a lot the first 2/3 of the season. Yeah, very catchable. Looked like it hit him in the heel of the glove. And for Matt Carpenter, his 10th error of the year. And that causes his pitcher to be taken out of the game. With 2 outs in the 3rd, Mike Schilt wasting no time. And it'll be Bryce Harper against Tyson Ross. Need expert printing? The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing they can't solve. Bryce Harper has 3 career hits and a homer against Tyson Ross. Done it. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Mike, some Geico highlights of 2 good at bats.
Yeah, hit it where it's pitched. They're trying to jam him in. Bryce says, not today. I'm gonna get my bat in there. Just real good bat speed and just good hitting. Just good hitting for Bryce right now. Right now he's in cruise control.
Visit geico.com. See how much you could save. Tyson Ross was picked up on waivers by St. Louis from San Diego on August 5th. He's made 1 appearance. It was a start. He gave up 2 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings. Bryce's numbers, I gave you a few of them a moment ago. 3 for 11, a homer, a solo, 3 walks. Ross has struck him out 3 times. So here we go, top of the 4th. The Nats have been given a huge opportunity here because of the error.
You know, at one time, this guy was a beast with the Padres.
All-star in 14 when he went 13-14, and following year went 10-12, and he's been hurt a lot since then.
Yeah, he got caught with the injury bug. But I remember one time this guy was outstanding with the Padres. You just thought, man, he's just coming into himself and he's going to only get better.
Listen to you calling somebody a beast. So the Cardinals, 93rd error of the year, most in baseball. The Nats the fewest. They played well in this series, but this one could be costly. Harper to center. It's on the ground. Roark scores. Adam Eaton coming home. Safe.
Molina pointing to the dugout. Adam Eaton got the front of the plate where he was coming from. Molina had the mitt down, and the Cardinals will have a quick look. The Nats lead at least 3-1.
Yeah, my boy Bryce having a huge year. Just another great swing. I'm telling you, he's in cruise control. This is the way this kid hits. This is the way he does. This is how he plays. Great hustle by Eaton coming around hard and just touching that corner.
Cardinals are challenging the safe call. He really got the foot planted on the bag. Molina's mitt. We shall see.
It's close, but I think he's in there. What do you guys think?
I'm waiting. You know, they're showing the replay on the board, and the St. Louis crowd didn't exactly go wild when they saw it. So
yeah, there's more.
And it has to be, of course, indisputable. So that's Bryce's 4th career hit against Ross. And right now, this challenge, the difference between a 3-1 and a 4-1 game.
Here goes Bryce again, being in the middle of everything.
Yeah, Harper's RBI total for the series could go up to 6 right here. Hard to tell, but I think they were going to have a hard time overturning the call. Runner is safe, and the Nats lead 4-1. It's a 2-run single for Bryce Harper.
Not this time, Yachty.
So 2 runs unearned because of the error, and 2 more men on base. Big spot for Rendon. RBI hit last time. It's a good thing Bryce didn't exactly center that ball. It allowed it to fall in front of Bader. Bryce is going screaming by the 240 batting mark, by the way, and that's outside to Rendon. Anthony Rendon against Tyson Ross, 4 for 14 career, a homer, 4 RBIs. Count even. Anthony's hit the ball well twice. Line out to right. RBI hit to left. Davies' offense, some timely hitting. Tanner Roark's pitching well. Two-two. Good take. And to the left side, taken by Garcia. That throw into the first baseman's mitt, and Bryce, the big hit of the inning, out to center, drives in a couple. Eaton following Tanner Roark home. How about Roark with 2 hits, 2 runs? between innings, but we already burned the tape. The Peanuts are back for a weekend series a couple of weeks from now. Autographs, WWE night on Friday the 24th. Saturday night, Tanner Roark bobblehead for the first 1,250 fans. Have a great time at Northwest Federal Field. Down there in Woodbridge, and here's Tanner to the bottom of the 4th. Tyler O'Neill. A product of Burnaby, British Columbia. Like Michael Morse, originally brought up with Seattle. He was a third rounder back in 13. Traded him to the Cardinals for left-handed pitcher Marco Gonzalez before the trading deadline last year, July 21st. Curveball in there, and this guy's got some pop. 101 minor league home runs. Just came off the DL after some groin inflammation. And he's hit 3 homers, driven in 9 at the big league level in 25 games. The last thing Tanner Roark wants to do is walk the leadoff guy after he was given a 3-run lead. Got a strike and a foul ball.
Tanner's been doing a lot today. Not only has he been pitching, he's been hitting and running the bases.
First pitch strikes 75% of the time so far. First 3 innings, 34 pitches. That 6-pitch, 6-strike. First inning really got him going. Then he threw 13 pitches in the second and 15 in the third. Walked him. Tanner turned his back on home plate. He was not happy with himself. Second walk today. Let's have a look at our next 5. And it starts with the fish. As mentioned, Max, Malone, and Gio, the 3 starting pitchers for the Nats. Monday's an off day. Then the Phillies are in for 2 night games next week, which you see. You don't see the Thursday day game. That's going to be a short homestand. The Nats are only home for just under a week before they go to New York for 3 and Philadelphia after that. Unbelievable homestand to start September. Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs. Ozuna, 2-hopper with a lot of topspin on it to the backing up Anthony Rendon first time, who threw him out with help from Zimmerman. 1-1. Rockies have scored. They lead at Atlanta, 4th inning, 2-1. 6-2 Phillies over the Mets now, so they've shaken off their game 1 headache when they gave up 24 runs. Several times tonight, Tanner going to the rosin bag. Sun well behind the third base grandstand now. Really nice evening here. 87 at game time. 2-1. Infield at double play depth. And this one out to short left center. Soto rushing in. O'Neill kind of spotted it right away and knew he had to really retreat because he was moving with the pitch. So Tanner has retired Ozuna twice and now gets Paul DeYoung.
This will be one of those good opportunities for Tanner to get one of those ground ball double plays that he's up in the league, 4th in the NL.
DeYoung has bounced into 5 this year. And with what you just said in mind, Mike, he threw a low fastball. Ball 1.
Yeah, when you want that double play, you're going to keep it all down. hopefully one of these that he'll come chasing and give you that ground ball, that nice 6-4-3.
Daniel Murphy shading up the middle. One ball, one strike. Mercedes-Benz. Almost the entire baseball in the box, but Adrian Johnson called it ball 2.
Yeah, he didn't like that. Not a bad location to throw that pitch, though.
He'll run that one back. When a lefty's batting, we call that the front hip fastball. And when a righty is up there, backdoor, came back to catch the edge. So you see pitch number 4 was almost perfect. 2-2.
Yeah, if you're going to call that last pitch a strike, you better call the one before it 1-2.
And DeYoung out to center, but it's very near where Bryce was playing. That thing must have had some overspin on it. Seemed to die on Harper right at the end. 2 down.
Yeah, it definitely kind of tricked him a little bit. He kind of took it one step back and had to make an adjustment.
I just have really been impressed with Bryce, the way he's bounced back and forth between center and right, and has just been outstanding at both places.
He's an athlete.
Here's Colton Wong, ground ball to Murphy first time, and Murph is heels to the outfield grass on the right side. O'Neill, known as a power guy, hit 26 homers this year at AAA in 64 games before being called up. 31 at Tacoma for the M's and Memphis for the Cardinals last year. So he's a power guy, but he's got some speed, and the Nats are kind of concerned about him right here, getting into scoring position. Tanner made that one pretty close.
Yeah, some of these guys that the Nationals haven't seen before, they usually go to their scouting department and ask them, the minor league scouting department, and say, hey, what do you got on these guys? And that's how they get their info. So, you know, up here we have never seen him run, but obviously they got the info on him, and they know that, hey, he's got some wheels, just like you're saying, he's got power. They got all that information down there. Mike Rizzo, I'm telling you, Mike Rizzo surrounds himself with baseball guys that they're just lifers in this game, and they have so much knowledge, and it helps out a team like this, a team that hasn't seen guys at the big league level.
Yeah, 190 feet advancement can cost you a ball game. He's not running, and there's another ball in the air. Anthony Rendon. Leadoff walk, Tanner Roark shook it off. He wasn't happy with himself when he did it. Then he gets Ozuna, DeYoung, and Wong in the air, and here we go, top 5 in St. Louis.
Juan Soto to anything but a 2-2 take contest. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield. There he is, top of the fifth. Juan's batted once with Harper at third, and he batted with the bases loaded in the third. Luke Weaver got him out in the air twice, and now he faces Tyson Ross for the first time. 1-0 for, I'm sorry, not for the first time, 0 for 3 against him. First time tonight. So the batting average has dipped under 300 here. Started the night at 298. And he's going to hit one in the air for the third time, and that's DeYoung. Top of the fifth underway. So Tyson Ross has come in and settled things down for St. Louis. He did give up the Harper 2-run single, though, out to center. Got Rendon to ground out, Soto to pop up, and he faces Ryan Zimmerman.
Look at Bryce, he's just in it. He reminds me of Hunter Pence right now. So Hunter will be in the dugout, but he's in your bat. He's with you the whole time, giving you positive vibes and just watching what guys are doing. And I feel like Bryce is just, with Zim up right now, he's watching closely, seeing how the pitcher's pitching to him, and he wants Zim to do well. He wants him to have success.
Bryce Harper is sitting 245, by the way.
I'm telling you, man. When does baseball give this guy some credit for this year? I mean, Carpenter on the other team was struggling bad.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing well now. He's doing really good. I mean, his average is, he's got a higher average, obviously, 275. But at the end of the year, Bryce could have the same average. Who knows?
Two-hopper, Greg Garcia. He threw kind of a changeup over to Matt Carpenter. 2 outs. MLB At Bat, your #1 Nationals app. News, stats, radio, in-game highlights, pitch tracking, MLB.TV game of the day. Customize your experience so you can catch every game this year. MLB At Bat, download it. Here's Murphy. Daniel deep fly ball to center last time, bounced out to Carpenter in his first AB. Tonight it's the top of the order getting it done. Turner 2 hits, Bryce 3 hits, 3 batted in. Key walk by Adam Eaton. And that pitcher guy, Tanner Roark, 2 hits, 2 runs. Murphy will drop one in. 5th base hit in 14 at-bats in the series. You might say the Nats are trying to get it down to Tanner Roark. And for Daniel Murphy now, a 9-game streak.
Yeah, let's get Tanner up. How often do you say that? The only time I used to say that was when Madison Bumgarner would be pitching. I'd be like, man, I want to see that guy hit every inning. Let's get Bum up there. Let's get him up there.
Wieters, fly ball to right, ground ball to first. Change up, floating way outside.
You know, another guy that could hit was Jose Fernandez. This would be another guy that had some power. God rest his soul. But again, we got 2 guys here, Tanner and Max. I love it when pitchers take hitting seriously. I love it. You know, Gio too. Gio can hit. Actually, Gio thinks he can hit, I should say. But he can give you a good at bat.
Well, Gio did have a 3-year home run streak. He hit 1 homer 3 years in a row.
And smiled around the bases.
So Tanner having a fantastic night. 2-0 to Wieters. And Tyson Ross will get that cutter to hit the inside edge. Matt career against Tyson. 1 for 4 in RBI, 3 walks. Wieters came in 235 left-handed. And we've talked about this before. Just less than 2 weeks ago, Matt Wieters was hitting 197. Started this night at 224.
Yeah, and all of this has been, all of that, most of it's been in this series. And it's just the Nats have nothing to show for it all.
Tyson Ross really had some snap on that big breaking ball. Daniel Murphy gets a head start at first. Matt Carpenter now just walking to a position behind him. Murphy inching off, and there he goes. Looked like ball 4. Matt Wieters swung at it. Daniel Murphy, before Ross really went home, was probably halfway to second.
Yeah, now he's got to be careful because Carpenter kind of just crept right behind him now. I don't think he's going to be doing that again.
Daniel getting a workout.
You know, we haven't seen Yachty throw to first this series.
He only has 1 pickoff this year. And an indication of Molina, yeah, he's only 7 for 26 throwing out opposing base runners. But that's because very few teams will even try to run on it. Letting Matt Wieters serve on it. Murph running his sprints here. By the way, Yadier Molina, 50 career runners picked off. Here's the at bat by Nissan. So 6, 7, and 8 have all been fouled off here, with Murphy on the move, 2 outs.
Staying alive. Bee Gees.
This inning probably it for Ross. St. Louis pitcher due up 3rd in the bottom of the 5th. They're down at least 3 runs when that rolls around.
Somebody give Murphy some water.
I'm okay, he says to Tim Bogart. Taking a deep breath.
Guys like that make it fun, man.
Yeah, here comes Carpenter. He crept in a little bit. And a walk. What a great at bat by Matt Wieters. Carpenter was messing with Murphy over there a little bit. And so Tanner Roark will bat here in the 5th inning. He's 2 for 2. Tanner fouled off a couple pitches last time before taking his 2nd hit up the middle. And if he gets another hit, he'll be the first Nat with a 3-hit game. Hits it hard. Backhand Wong. And that ball dropped by the shortstop, DeYoung. Everybody safe. The bases are loaded. Adam Eaton a chance to do big time damage. That ball was hit hard. Wong did well to grab it. Then things went wrong. Somebody's getting an error.
Again, up the middle. Great approach. Great approach for a pitcher.
He kind of made his shortstop reach across the bag. They give the error to Wong for the throw. St. Louis second error of the night, and one of them's already cost him 2 runs.
Yeah, it's a tough error. Hang with him. But again, Tanner on base, 3rd time. No rest for Tanner. He don't mind.
I think he's good with that. Strike 2. An AB that could put a big stamp on the rest of this evening. Chopper. Ross. He drops it. 5-1 Nationals. And the old Cardinals defense has returned.
Yeah, now we're seeing what we saw on paper. Worst team in the league in defense, and man, they're doing it all in one day.
Looked like he had a little slip coming off the mound. So that's the 3rd St. Louis error. The Nats have scored 3 unearned runs, and Trey Turner could really deliver a dagger right here. 5-1 Nats. And it was Turner's at bat last time when he hit a spinning ground ball to Coton Wong. His low throw dropped by Matt Carpenter. Really, it wasn't that low. It was about knee high. One good take by Trey. Trey Turner 2 for 5 career against Ross. A homer, a walk, 1 RBI.
See, we're seeing 2 different teams. Last couple games, the Cardinals are playing lights out.
Right side, Wong spins. And the Cardinals get some Bronx cheers from their fans for a good defensive play. Nats tack on a run and lead it 5-1.
Nationals with a 5-1 lead here in St. Louis. Tonight marks the Nationals' 122nd game of the season. Trey Turner has now played in all of them, the only Nationals player who can make that claim. I asked Trey yesterday how he feels at this point in the season, playing as often as he does at a position as physically and mentally demanding as his. He said some days are better than others in terms of how fatigued you feel. Some days you look up and it's the 8th inning and you're like, man, I feel great. Other days it's the 3rd inning and you're like, geez, I'm already a little bit beat today. Trey saying random factors can lead to that, and travel certainly does as well. But Trey says that compared to past years, he feels fresher at this point in the season, even though he's played more games than in previous years. He says over time he's learned how to kind of adjust his daily routine depending on how he's feeling, and also just learned his body over the years as well. He says if he feels a certain area might be feeling tight or weak, it's important to adjust things with your pregame routine, to dial it back a little bit, to ensure that you're feeling strong over the entire course of the season. So Trey Turner, guys, pretty much in the lineup every single day, and even when he doesn't start, finding a way to come in the late innings to make an impact on that night's game.
Yeah, Dan, that's what happened. I think a couple of weeks ago, Trey got a day off, but he did end up appearing later. So he's our Iron Man this year. Here's Harrison Bader. Last time he led off, the ball went high and deep and landed in the back of the Nationals bullpen in left field. He's 5 for 11 in the series, and he has hits his last 4 times up, double, 2 singles, and the long ball. So Tanner trying to figure out how to get him out here as we get to the 9 o'clock hour for those of you back home. Thanks for spending your Thursday evening with us. The Nats wrapping up the road trip. We were hoping they'd go 5-2 on this trip. They'd have to win tonight to go 2-5. But they want to come home with a W, some momentum, and then take on the Marlins and the Phillies for the next 6 at Nationals Park and see how it turns out.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of kids going to bed tonight with school starting. You guys get to bed, get some sleep. We got it from here.
Oh, you do, huh?
Me and Bob will take it from here. We got this.
All
Don't
right.
worry. Except those guys.
4-pitch walk. It's what a homer will do to you sometimes. The next time you face a batter, that's the only Cardinals hit of the night. And now Tanner has walked 3 batters. Cardinals will be back in our ballpark. It'll start with a 1 o'clock game on Labor Day, Monday, September 3rd. Night games Tuesday, Wednesday. Nats, Cards. Nationals.com for tickets. Greg Garcia struck out looking first time up.
Tanner keeping the ball down, trying to introduce that double play. Induce that double play, actually, I should say. One thing good so far, he's got 60 pitches, and we're in the 5th. Something we haven't seen in the last couple days from our starters. So
One and two, nobody out.
You would think Bader's running game would be thwarted a bit by the 4-run deficit. Garcia runs well. Nats will need a grounder right at somebody. Tyson Ross is on deck, pitching an inning and a third so far.
Yeah, if he gets up there, it's just kind of one of those things that manager wants to just give his bullpen a little hand.
Well,
let them get some rest because they got a big series coming up.
Yeah, you know, you're probably not conceding yet. It's only the 5th inning, but Milwaukee got into town last night. They're resting, they're relaxing, and the home team's battling here and has a big series starting with them tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's late in the season, every game counts. So like you just said, you're not giving up in a game like this, I mean, especially if a team that has been scoring 6 or more runs, and whatever it may be, but you do want your bullpen to get some rest because of the big series with Milwaukee coming up. But you got to do what you got to do to win this game.
Tanner Roark has already walked a man. Now he's gone 3-2. He's walked a batter in each of the last 3 innings. Eric Lilliquist and Davey Martinez want to see him stay on the attack here. So if you're the hitter, you got to be thinking fastball. You're down by 4. It's 3-2. Nobody out. See what Tanner and Wieters do here. Yeah, got a heater over to first, and Bader had to scramble back. Braves have scored a couple and lead the Rockies 3-2. 5th inning in Atlanta. Right now the Nats have to take care of their own business. Bader on the move, and the ball is popped up. Soto coming in very quickly from left. He knew that was going to be tough for Rendon, and Juan gets there, and Bader back to first. And if an out can be big in the 5th inning when you're up by 4, that was. Tyson Ross 0 for 1 as a Cardinal. Actually, 1 game no at bat. 6 for 38 and his career number 193. Showed bunt. You're going to leave your pitcher in. Try to get a guy to scoring position. One of the best hitters in the league is on deck. And they're hoping it could start a process of chipping away at the deficit. Rendon charging from third. Ross pops it up. Tanner Roark's got it, 2 down. Now Carpenter with a runner at first, 2 down. Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families by making a donation of $44 to the Children's in at NIH, the National Institutes of Health, for every strikeout by a Nationals pitcher. Run back fastball popped up short right. Murphy was playing out there already, so Daniels got it, and Tanner Roark
The walks have not hurt him at all. 5-1 Nats. To the 6th we go. He's only given up 1 hit so far, the solo homer. You can win a lot of games if you only give up the occasional solo. So he's done his thing. And remember, we talked about him and Bryce in our opening segment. Both have come through big time tonight.
Yeah, I love the fact that not only is he pitching well, he's running the bases, he's getting hits, he's doing it all right now. And then Bryce, he just looks like a 5-tool player that we know he can do what, like we know he is.
Yeah, Bryce has his batting average up to 245 now. So next destination, 250 and beyond. Here he is. Bryce was the first man to face Tyson Ross 2 innings ago, greeted him with a 2-run single to center. Cardinals challenged the safe play on Eaton at the plate. The Nats got the run when the challenge was not allowed. And it's 5-1 Nats after they added the unearned run last inning. Earned, unearned. Nobody cares. The Nats are up by 4.
And don't go anywhere. Bryce is up. No bathroom breaks.
So the Nats box score from top to bottom. Eaton a walk, a key one back in the 4th. Trey, couple of hits. Bryce a big night. Rendon a single for an RBI. Murphy a walk for Wieters, and go down to number 9. 2 runs after 2 singles for Tanner Roark, who's also pitched 5 good innings.
It's always good when the print starts to get smaller. Gotta fit
on the
it all
box
in
score,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta fit a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, you're right.
You always want small print.
Well, they always say read the fine print, and it's a pleasure to do so tonight. Time given. Down and in with that hard sinker of his, 93 with severe cutting action. Tyson Ross, first strikeout. That was nasty. Anthony Rendon's hit the ball well twice tonight. Line out to right, RBI single to left. Bounce to third, his 3rd time up. Nats came out aggressively against Luke Weaver. 7 hits in 3 2/3. Got a little help from the Cardinal defense. He gave up 4 runs, 2 unearned. And the guys have taken advantage of opportunities tonight. 1-1.
You know, it's really good to see them knock knock a starter out early. Especially the way they've been playing lately. The offense has been there. The defense has been awesome, electric. And just really haven't had anything to show this series for it. But consistency. They're being very consistent right now, especially offensively.
2-1. And by the way, Tanner Roark has already gone farther than any Nat starter in this series. He's through 5. And at 68 pitches, he's in line for a real nice evening. Rendon not at all interested in the 3-1 pitch.
Yeah, I say let him go. Let him go as long as he can.
Rendon, that ball took a funny hop kind of back toward Matt Carpenter, who thought he was really going hard to his left. So 2 down here in the 6th. And the Cardinals have popped up Juan Soto 3 times tonight, so he's got something to go with here in the 6th. Trying to get Ryan Zimmerman up there, who you saw a moment ago with Davey.
Yeah, every time it's been a fastball up and in. So look for Yachty to keep it going until an adjustment is made.
Cutter missing. Juan's been on base 5 times in the series, 2 hits, 3 walks. Jesse Winker of Cincinnati started the night 299 among rookies. Juan at 298. He's been the batting average leader for rookies ever since he got here. And now it's 3-0 against him for the 2nd time tonight. Four-pitch walk. 56 walks, 59 strikeouts for the rookie.
That's what I was talking about. You know, they were going to keep it in, up and in with him, and try to get him to, you know, keep hitting those pop outs. But he made an adjustment right there, that at bat. He wasn't going to bite. He wasn't. The fish weren't biting for that one.
Ryan Zimmerman bouncing ball to third, first time up against Ross. Ooh. Ryan had a center field power swing going right there. Bader out there playing him about 20 feet toward the right center gap. Pretty fair ballpark, 400 dead center, 375 in the gaps, 330 plus down each line. 1-1.
"19-year-old making adjustments in his at-bats is it's a great thing."
Change up floated inside, 2-1. The number 2 on the Cardinal sleeves for Red Schoendienst, Cardinal Hall of Fame player. Some good years in Milwaukee with the Braves. Longtime Cardinal manager, passed away this winter. Wore the uniform for 60-some years here, the longest of any St. Louis baseball personality ever. Ryan Zimmerman just got under that one. Did Young out, Ozuna in. Left fielder has it. Nats are gone in the 6th. They lead 5-1, 2-3-4 ahead for St. Louis.
Tanner Roark, athletes. Third inning, base it up the middle, led to a run. Fourth inning, base it up the middle, led to 2 runs. And then he's pitching, Mike. Everything going well for Tanner tonight. 5 innings with only a solo homer given up.
Yeah, pitching, running the bases, getting knocks. Just earning his pay today.
He's trying to make it 5 in a row. In terms of the W's, key inning here, Molina, O'Neill, Ozuna. Bottom 6, 68 pitches, 40 strikes. Yadier Molina, fly ball to center, 1 to left. Great looking curveball. Wieters did a double take. He thought the Nats had a strike.
Yeah, it looked like just a get me over strike. Let's get to that first pitch out the way, but didn't go our way.
Gets the call on that side of the plate. Molina launches one foul. Cardinals box, 1 hit. Harrison Bader, left field, leadoff homer, 3rd inning. The rest to Carpenter, 3rd inning walk. O'Neill in the 4th. Bader in the 3rd, his 3rd walk in the 5th. So Tanner's really been unhittable tonight. Knock on wood. 257, that number coming in. And on 1 and 2, he had Molina really reaching.
Yeah, his game plan today, he hasn't got off of it. He's trusting his stuff. He's trusting what Wieters and him talked about, and what they how they want to go after these hitters.
4th career start against St. Louis, 6th appearance overall. Trying to even the record at 2-2. Molina, line drive. Trey Turner right there, and ball sounded funny coming off the bat. He might have broken the bat. 1 out, 6th inning. Tyler O'Neill is next.
Yeah, that's some firewood now. Or maybe a nice souvenir for a kid.
O'Neill, foul out to Zimmerman, leadoff walk in the 4th. Good fastball, outer half. Hot shot, no chance for Turner on that one. Tyler O'Neill is quick and strong. He's going for 2, and he's going to make it. They've been aggressive on the bases here, and Tyler O'Neill turns that into a double. I'm not sure there's much Soto or Harper could do.
There's that speed that we were talking about last time he was up when he was on first base. We saw a lot of throwovers from Tanner, and he just showed us pretty much why.
Marcell Ozuna, ground ball to 3rd, fly ball to left. Done this to Ozuna a couple of times. Marcell starts his swing. By the time the ball gets there, he either misses it or it's a foul ball like that. Tanner's really disguised some of his pitches well tonight.
When Tanner keeps that ball in the outside half, it's very hard for a powerful righty as in Ozuna to try to do some damage to left field. It's hard.
There's another one. Rosenbach, crucial piece of gear tonight. Pitching him away, and Ozuna takes it out that way. Since the 1st of June, Ozuna's been good here at Busch Stadium. 353. A power outage came to an end a couple of weeks ago. He was in single digits for a while. He's at 14 right now. And Tanner gives him something to think about with a pitch off the plate, 2-2. Into center. Harper back, checking his surroundings. He has it. Over to third is O'Neill on the second out. That's 4 long fly balls to Bryce Harper tonight. But that's where you want him. And DeYoung is the hitter with 2 down.
Yeah, Tanner was very careful how he pitched Marcel that last at bat.
Yeah, and maybe the fact, Mikey, that he showed him that fastball inside that made it 2-2, maybe that kept him from getting to that last pitch enough to hit it out of the yard.
Yeah, absolutely. He wasn't biting on anything down. So Tanner said, you know what, I'll throw it middle away and get you just to pop up.
1-0.
Take the second best thing.
Front door on the curve, and it stayed inside. 2-1. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast. This tells me the crew thought it was close. Very close. Well done, guys. And they just haven't been able to hit anything fair except to the biggest part of the park.
Yeah, foul ball homers are cool. You can do that all day. I like watching foul ball homers.
By the way, in your career, you were 2 for 4 with a double against Tanner Rohr.
Yeah, owned him.
3-2. Colton Wong is next. Tanner's gotten him on the infield twice. Third base, Tyler O'Neill doubled with 1 out, advanced on the deep Ozuna fly ball. And the Cardinals are on the board to make it a 3-run game. So they only had 3 hits all night, 2 of them though here in the 6th. That's only DeYoung's 3rd hit of the series in 14 at bats. Colton Wong is next. Henry Blanco has taken up a position near the phone in the left field bullpen. Tanner Roark is trying to go at least 6 innings for the 19th time in 24 starts. Long bouncer to second, pop up to third. 1-1. And this one out to left center. Unable to be cut off, and that will get DeYoung home to make it 5-3. Juan Soto was playing very shallow and had no chance to cut that ball off.
Yeah, that ball hit the ground and just kept rolling. You know, we've seen Wong use the whole field this series, and that ball just took off. It hit the ground and just sped by him.
Suddenly, the Cardinals have the tying run in the batter's box. And Derek Lilliquist to the mound to slow things down, and nobody throwing yet. But I do see Greg Holland moving around. So this is getting serious here in the 6th inning. Harrison Bader has homered and walked.
You know, this is the pitching coach, manager. This is them believing in their starter right now. Like you said, no one's warming up. You know, this is their guy. They're putting it all on Tanner. They want him to get out of this.
So no throwing yet. Roark gets ahead. Now they're scrambling out there. One. So that's Tim Collins, Trevor Gott back there. Matt Carpenter is still 3 hitters away. They have a right-handed bench with Garcia starting tonight, and a 1-1 pitch fouled by Bader.
You know, I think I speak for you, Bob, and everybody in Nats Nation. We want to see Tanner get out of this.
Has to. He's been so durable. Last 4 starts, 8 innings, 7, 7, and 7 2/3. 2 doubles around a single in this inning. Ball 2. By far his longest inning. Left-handed batter on deck, Garcia.
You know, Tanner's had a big day, real busy day, not just on the mound, but all those hits, all that running. He's been in pretty much everything in this game.
Last time out, matched his season high with 117 pitches at Chicago. He pitched 2 outs into the 8th inning. 3-2 here And a bouncer left side. Rendon's got to hurry. He does. Zimmerman can't get it. Ball gets away, and it's a 5-4 game. Bader ends up at second.
Anthony knows he's got to be fast. He's got to be quick with it. That guy's running down the base hard. You know, 9 out of 10, Zim gets that.
Nationals' first error of the night. Rendon on the throw. Tying run to second. Only Anthony's 4th of the year. Number 8 hitter Garcia. Roark stays to face the lefty. And he will lift one to center, playable for Harper. Tanner Roark on one pitch gets Garcia. St. Louis scores 3, and now it's a close one into the late innings. Every time they walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington. 451 on the way to $23,000. Care First wants each of us, they encourage each of us to take that first step towards a healthy and active lifestyle. Go for a walk. Tyson Ross still pitching. He's thrown 55 pitches. Working through 2 1/3 so far. Murphy, Wieters, and then we'll see what Davey has in mind for the number 9 spot. Tanner Roark has thrown 97 pitches. Murphy base hit last time against Ross. Led to a run in the 5th.
Close game like this now, you would think if somebody got on that would have Adams or Reynolds or somebody.
Murphy, hot shot. Carpenter right there. So there's been a momentum swing here up to the Nats to grab it back. Wieters on the way. Tanner not going for his batting helmet, gloves, or stick just yet. Mark Reynolds, who has not had an at-bat in this series, walking on deck. Tanner Roark gives up 4 hits all night. He did walk 3, but he made sure none of the walks cost him any runs. Cost him some on the pitch count, but he didn't allow anybody who walked to score tonight. Nats will have to hold on or add on to make him 5-0 against the NL Central this year. Strike to Wieters, 2-1. And Tyson Ross has really settled this game down for them. Mark Reynolds is 0 for 5 career against him. They were in the same division for a while, Colorado and San Diego respectively. So that's it for Tanner. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, a strikeout, 97 pitches, 59 strikes. Bullpen's going to have to get 9 outs. Reynolds, a hot shot, picked off by DeYoung. Yeah. There has been a momentum switch. Now the Nats have to get the bullpen to be very efficient. Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. They call that the old courthouse. Back in the 1800s, it was the site of the Dred Scott trial, which had a lot to do with the eventual abolition of slavery in our country. A very important historical landmark. Bottom of the 7th, and it's Patrick Wisdom against Justin Miller. Wisdom hitting for Tyson Ross, who gave the Nats 1 unearned run over 3 1/3 innings. And here's Wisdom, who in the series is 1 for 2. Couldn't stop his swing. Miller overmatched him on that one. 0-2. So for Justin, 34th appearance, 46 Ks in 36 innings.
Yeah, Nat's looking for Miller to just shut it down. A little quick shutdown inning, and let's get back up there and put something together in the top of the batting order. Let the top of the lineup eat.
Now it's 3-2.
Hats off today to Tanner Rourke, though.
Still in line for the win.
I mean, Tanner gave us everything we could ask for him. He worked hard today.
Here's Matt Carpenter. 0 for 2 career against Miller. Tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. High in the air to center. Bryce Harper. Big out for the first in the 7th. Friday tomorrow, it's presented by Masson. Hawaiian shirt night for the first 20,000 fans. You island lovers. Nats Fish, game at 7:05. Visit nationals.com. Check it out. They'll see you coming. And now it's Yadier Molina, 0 for 3 tonight. His outs in the air have gone 8, 7, 6.
Still wondering why he does that little tap in the batter's box. On the first base side. Before he gets ready, he kind of gets in the box and does taps everything way over there.
Yeah, foot right behind home plate. Over the years, a lot's been scrutinized about Bryce with his bat. Far side, near side, far side, near side, tapping the plate, but not anywhere near as far as Molina goes.
Probably did it one day and got a hit, and now he thinks, oh, I got to do it every time.
Yeah, you guys have been known to do that. Runner on the move. It didn't look like Wisdom had a great jump.
Yeah, it kind of looked like almost like a hit and run or something.
Left-hander Brett Cecil returned from the DL yesterday. Didn't pitch in the game last night.
You know, we always talk about how Molina likes to go to that right side of the field. Maybe that's why he does that. He taps. He's looking for something in the other batter's box.
Yeah. One.
Yeah, Zim with a nice grab right here. Wow. Almost the same kind of ball that Rendon threw last inning.
1-on-1 out, 1-run game, bottom 7. Mighty cut on a pitch up. Molina swinging from the heels with 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's taking some hacks.
Tough guy to strike out. Yadier Molina, as mentioned, 0 for 3 tonight. 343 official at bats, 50 strikeouts. So he makes contact 70 or so % of the time.
And one of those reasons why he does it is because when he gets to 2 strikes, he starts to, that's when he gets his approach going the other way. You know, we saw him take some big hacks right there, but I'm pretty sure now we'll see him change into the more of a put it in play and go to the right side.
Key to this guy, get it on the ground. Double play waiting to happen if you can get it at somebody. And he's going to fly one to center for Bryce Harper. Tyler O'Neill will be next, and his double last inning with 1 out triggered their 3-run rally. Just watching this guy walk to home plate. He's 5'11", 210 they list him. He is a compact, powerful looking hitter. 22 years of age. Former Canadian junior national team member. And you'd love the story about his dad, Terry, Mr. Canada, the 1975 bodybuilding champion.
Where do you get this stuff from?
It's out there.
Man. It's got to be those muscle magazines you read.
Yeah, I read a lot. When you're done with them, I read them. 0-2. And Miller holds on to the fastball too long. Counts 1-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th. Runner going, swing and a miss, inning over. Justin Miller walks the leadoff man and then turns out the lights on the Cards. Top of the order for the Nationals, 8th inning coming up, 5-4 Washington.
and then he came back big. So let's have a look at the strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. Bang with the fastball, 100% fiber optic network. Here comes the Exmo, 100% phenomenal. Visit getfios.com. Matt Wieters seemed to be on his way out of the batter's box or the catcher's box before the pitch got there to get to the dugout, and that's okay.
Yeah, straight heat.
From Dunkirk, Maryland, he went to DeMatha, and he's a Terp. It's 32-year-old Brett Cecil, just back off the DL. 27 games this year, a bad ERA, a 5.70. He's been with the Cardinals for the last 2 years. So 29 hits in 24 innings. This is crazy. He's walked 18 batters, struck out 14. Adam Eaton's faced him before, 1 for 2. Lefty-lefty matchup, 8th inning underway. Nats by 1.
Yeah, I guess they had to get him to work on some stuff.
Right foot inflammation had him on the DL. Of course, we are all waiting for Sean Doolittle's foot to totally heal to get him back out there. Cecil, 430 games. Originally broke in with the Blue Jays back in '09. He was there through 16, and now second year in St. Louis. Adam started, got the hand stopped, ball 2.
Yeah, he's a guy that throws a lot of curveballs. He mixes up fastball, curveball. It's a coin flip what you're going to get with him.
Well, as mentioned, control's been an issue. He goes 3-1 here. Nats will take base runners any way to get them. Adam Eaton 0 for 3 tonight, but he reached on a key walk back in the 4th inning and scored on the play St. Louis challenged. Part of that 2-run inning. And he gets it in there, 3-2.
Yeah, he really falls off the mound real hard. For a guy throwing 89, he really pushes off that mound.
Adam Eaton knows he struck out. Gave up on it. It got the inside edge. 1 down. Trey Turner next. Turner faces Cecil for the first time. Trey's had some good swings tonight. Hits his first 2 times. And he drives one out to center. Bader going back, and he has it. Landing just as he hit the wall. 2 down for Harper.
Yeah, Trey really hit that ball really well. Got a good piece of it. And at some parks, that's gone. Right up on the wall. We saw Mikey Taylor yesterday rob one of their guys from a homer out there.
Bryce Harper, 1 for 2 against the lefty Cecil. A line drive out and a single. Stepped away and took ball 1.
Yeah, this is pretty much why they got him in the game right here. Not necessarily to face Adam, but for Bryce.
That's like the strike 3 pitch to Eaton for strike 1 to Harper. Bryce Harper showing bunt with 2 outs. Hard hit. Wong picks it off. 1, 2, 3 go the Nats. Bottom of the 8th. It's still 5-4. Staring at Max, and the Marlins are going to see him staring right back at him. He's 15-5. The ERA is 2.19. 10-3 career against Miami. Dan Straley's 4-5. He's the right-hander for Miami. We'll get you going. 6:30. Nats Extra, Masson 2 tomorrow night. Max has already traveled ahead to D.C. There's a Missouri Tiger. Max's alma mater. Grew up here in suburban St. Louis. And we go bottom 8. Ozuna, DeYoung, and Wong. Justin Miller, 16 pitches, 10 strikes. Ozuna 0 for 2 career against him. Justin pitched in the game here Monday night. Gave up a couple of runs on 2 hits. Did retire Ozuna on a ground ball. The slugger 0 for 3 tonight and just outside.
Still can't believe MLB lets guys wear those neon sleeves like that.
Nats have adjusted their defense. We'll get you up to date in a second. Now it's 1-2. Michael A. Taylor. They're telling us he's batting first. Yeah, he has to because Miller's still in the game, so no double switch. And Bryce Harper over to right. So the defense just got better. And low and away.
Yeah, we just put 3 center fielders, three really fast, really good athletes out there. But you know what? I mean, I can't knock Eaton. He's a heck of an outfielder too.
2-2. Jordan Hicks on your left, the guy that can throw 100. He's thrown over 4. I don't know how many. I have to look at how many pitches he's thrown this year over 100 miles an hour. It's a crazy number. And a ball popped up left side. No chance for Rendon or Wieters. They've had two different pitchers get saves. Norris is 23rd last night. Hicks is 4th on Tuesday. So Mike Schilt able to sort of interchange them. Right now it's all about Justin Miller and Marcelo Zuna. High chopper, Rendon forward to get it after the first hop, and Ryan Zimmerman into foul ground with the runner approaching. Got a little dicey for a second.
Yeah, he's having an interesting day over there.
DeYoung, RBI singled up the middle last time. First run scored of that 3-run St. Louis 6th. Top of the 9th, Rockies batting at Atlanta. Couple of men on, but they're down 3-2. Bottom 7 in Philly. Phil's lead. The Mets 9-4, trying to split that doubleheader. DeYoung has only 3 hits in these 4 games, but 2 of them have been big. The walk-off homer Monday, the RBI single tonight, and a 1-2. Fastball rights up, counts even. High riding fastball. DeYoung able to get to it.
Yeah, it's a tough ball to hit. Up in the zone.
Outfield straight away. Great fastball. Outer edge 94, unreachable. 2 down, and for Miller, his second strikeout.
What a great pitch. Just reared back and just gave it all he's got. Just powered it right by him. The best part about it, his location.
Colton Wong, big hit for the Cardinals last time. He plugged the left center gap with a double. Bases empty, 2 outs. Rendon shallow at third, and he'll get under it and pop it up into right for the now right fielder, Bryce Harper, who's been very busy with the glove tonight. Justin Miller, a walk, and then he retires 6 in a row in this 1-run game to the 9th. So a drive of the game by Bryce. 4th inning. Big blow of the game for the Nats. Eaton just in under the tag. Cardinals challenged. The call stayed safe. And at that time, Bryce Harper put the Nationals up by a 4-1 score. They'd add a run. Trey Turner has a couple of hits, and he's swinging the bat well. Almost homered last time. And the Nats trying to give Tanner Roark his 5th consecutive win. 26-year-old Mike Myers already appeared in the series. 39th game of the year. 42 hits in 43 innings. And first up against him, Anthony Rendon, who's 1 for 2 against him. Anthony doubled against the right-hander in the 8th inning here on Tuesday night, right after Harper's 2-run homer. Insurance, anyone? 4-5-6 for the Nats here. Fastball in there.
Yeah, it's a big thing right now. Get some of these, get on base. Get on base.
Oda Glover's the closer tonight. By the way, the Rockies just tied the Braves in the 9th. Right now, the Nats want to take care of their business, get a little help, and just take whatever big or baby steps they can to get back in this race. Anthony 1 for 4 tonight, RBI single. He's hit it hard 3 times. Now he's 2 for 5.
It's nice to see these guys getting on base early.
And the Nats have had numerous opportunities with runners in scoring position. That, by the way, is their first hit since Daniel Murphy back in the 5th. Tyson Ross did a really good job for St. Louis, settling the game down through 3 1/3. Now the Nats trying to get some insurance on the board here in the 9th. Cardinals have the bottom of their order due up. They have no left-handed batters on the bench, having started Greg Garcia tonight. Soto 0 for 3. That's a rarity. He did walk his last time up. One. ID'd the ball diving and took it. 2-1. Now the Rockies have scored 3 runs in the 9th at Atlanta. They lead 5-3. Two-one pitch. Rendon medium lead at first. Time given by Adrian Johnson.
Yeah, we need some teams to do some work on Atlanta.
Good take. 3-1. We always talk about how good Juan Soto is, and there's Zimmerman on deck with 2 strikes. Let's see how smart Juan can be on a 3-1. I mean, if he sees something fastball variety, Mike, he's got to be pumping, right?
Absolutely. He's trying to lift something.
Count leverage here. That ball had some cutting action to it at 88. Not to his liking, and now the count's full. So here's the 2-strike approach. Even though it's a full count, he's been remarkable this year, spreading out, using the whole ballpark in 2-strike counts. And you could hear Juan go timeout, 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 and Adrian Johnson again gave it to him.
5-4 Nats, top of the 9th. Right in there. Cardinals have pitched Soto as well as anybody in recent memory. In this series, he's now 2 for 12. He has walked 4 times, but they've kept him from doing any damage tonight. Ryan Zimmerman next. He's 0 for 4. One career plate appearance against Myers, a walk. Ryan, though, still 3 for 12 in the series with an RBI. Didn't start one of the games, but came off the bench with a pinch hit single to score a run. It was a strike for a while. 2-1.
I like to see Zim get on right here. Get 2 guys on for Murph. The way Murph's been swinging it.
Yeah, he's having a good series with 5 hits. Three and 1. Everything away to Ryan Zimmerman. Daniel Murphy 1 for 4 tonight. Extended his hitting streak to 9 games earlier. 15 hits over that time. Big pitch here, 3-1. He was 3-1 on Soto. He was 3-2 on Soto and Zimmerman as well. Huge damage with full counts. Spoiled a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, not much you can do with that pitch. Not a pitch you can drive unless you're sitting on it. Again, just foul it off and try to fight, get something else.
Nationals trying to fight their way to at least a 2-run lead here. Rendon short lead, holding with 1 out, and that's upstairs. So Ryan Zimmerman works the walk to get Rendon to scoring position for the hot Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, it's the kind of matchup we want. This is our favor right here.
Mike Maddox to the mound.
He knows it.
Here comes the right hand to the left shoulder of every pitcher he visits. Mike got a 3-year deal with St. Louis as their pitching coach. And he and Mike Schilt have presided over a lot of young guys coming to the big leagues and starting, with Wainwright, Reyes, Waka, and Martinez all disabled. There's Mike Schilt, Cardinals 19-9 with him at the helm. So Adrian Johnson manages to break up the confab, and here's Daniel Murphy. Late in the game last night, Murphy jacked one 425 to right center. Nats got 2 in the ninth, but fell short in a 4-2 loss. And just a foot or so foul.
Bader, the center fielder, shaded a bit toward left center. And with that in mind, the pitch is away and it's up 1-1. Glover's got to keep himself warm, then hot, then ready. And that left field bullpen, he's been standing around forever out there during this long half inning. Way outside, 2-1.
I wonder if that feels like in football when they freeze the kicker.
They have frozen him out here. So, you know, and he's still a young guy. Cota hasn't been in this situation a whole lot. Henry Blanco's going to hang out with him, and it's where a bullpen coach, ex-catcher, really becomes valuable. Upstairs, Murphy couldn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You might have been able to hear the exhale on Daniel's swing.
Yeah, Henry Blanco is a really cool dude to hang out with. He's got some stories.
And right now it's his job to keep the young closer ready. 2-2 to Murphy with 1 out. Lots of long counts for Mike Myers here. Murphy's faced him once. It was a walk. Matt Wieters on deck. Crowd of 38,074. Kind of sweating out this top of the 9th in St. Louis. Daniel Murphy this year has struck out 13 times in 178 official at bats. Pardon me, 16 times, walked 13 times. So a guy who gets it in play. He couldn't get that one upstairs. So an unusual inning continues. There was a base hit, a long at bat for a strikeout, a long at bat for a walk, and now a long AB for Murphy to strike out. It's up to Matt Wieters. The Nationals have already stranded 10 runners.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see Adams coming out on deck.
Yeah, number 9 spot next. Matt Wieters 0 for 3 tonight with a walk in the series. 3 for 11, 3 batted in. There's the former Cardinal, Adams. They've kept him hitless in this series.
I'd like to see him get up and see if for the 4th game would they give him a standing O.
Oh, Adams?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been up twice in this series in late game crucial situations, and the Cardinal fans have given him standing ovations. Two and 1. 26 pitches this inning for Mike Myers. Anthony Rendon a long time ago singled to lead off the inning. After Soto struck out, Ryan Zimmerman walked. Three and 1. Nothing coming easy for Myers this inning, but he has struck out a couple in crucial situations. And this ball is slicing out of play. It'll set up 3 and 2, 2 outs. for Rendon and Zimmerman to take off.
Another 3-2 count.
Waiters pops it up. Near the mound, Garcia. The Nationals have stranded a dozen, and now they look to Dakota Glover to nail down the win. Standard Heating and Air. Find your local independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. Beautiful night in St. Louis. Scoreboard looking okay, but some work left to do. Dakota Glover has thrown one pitch, actually faced one batter in this series. It was a 3-1 pitch on Monday night that Paul DeJong hit out of the yard for the walk-off. DeJong has just hit recently, so it's Bader, Garcia, and then we'll see who Mike Schultz goes with in the number 9 spot. Wilmer Defoe on a double switch, batting ninth, playing second base in place of Daniel Murphy. Harrison Bader, homer, walk, and his speed helped him reach on an error that brought in an unearned run in the 6th inning. Two great innings of relief by Justin Miller. Close, ball 1.
Yeah, he's going to try anything to get on base. We got to keep him off.
Now Rendon's playing inside the cut of the grass at third. Zimmerman baseline on the first base side, and Bader took a big rip on a ball that was cutting away. Tried to check on a pitch coming up and in on him. Strike 2. Glover's 4th appearance since coming back to the big leagues. 8 career saves. You walk this guy, you're asking for trouble. Bader can fly. So a 3-2 to the leadoff man. Got him inside edge. Coda Glover just enough cut on it to strike out Bader looking.
What a great pitch. He was working him outside the old bat, came in and just froze him.
Greg Garcia 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout, 2 fly balls. And having a good series, 6 for 13. Jose Martinez steps out on deck. Glover with a changeup that fades out over the plate. So that was 85. Fastball's in the 96 range. And the cutter was 90-ish. So there's the heater, 95-02.
Yeah, he's got his ball. The ball comes alive out of his hand, and he has that natural run, that sink to it, which makes it very hard to hit, and also hard to control sometimes.
Glover's got it, 2 down, and he gives himself a fist pump.
Nice fielding right there.
Good hitter, young pitcher. 2 outs in the 9th. Matt Wieters the visit. Martinez has 6 hits in the series. Every one of them a single, 4 of them Monday night. On the appeal, no swing, says crew chief Mark Carlson. Nats trying to break a 4-game losing streak and end a St. Louis 8-game winning streak. That's a base hit, and the tying run's on. And this place is going to go wild because Matt Carpenter is next. Braves have lost. It's up to the Nats now. John Gant, who started game 2 of this series, pinch runs. Change up away for a ball. So it's 2-0 Nats in a shift. Defoe, a good 20 feet or more out into right field. Trey Turner, right side of second base. And a guy with 33 homers and 68 RBIs. Hitters count. Adrian Johnson rang him up for a swing there. And it's 2-1.
I always say, you can check swing and hit a base hit or hit a double, you win.
Carpenter right down on the end of that knob. Glover cutting one inside on him at 93, forcing the foul tip, and now it's 2-2.
That's a good pitch. Got him right under the hands.
We saw him throw a good tailing fastball to Greg Garcia, the other lefty. Well, that's big. Gant running on the 3-2 pitch upcoming. Soto and Harper real deep, the corner outfielders. Michael A. Taylor fairly deep in center. Defoe even further out into right field on the shift. Change up, ball 4, 2 on. Yadier Molina is next. At Wieters, another visit. I know it's the winning run aboard, but you just can't groove one to Matt Carpenter right there.
No, you can't. You got to be very careful, especially with in that 3-2 count. So I mean, if you're gonna miss, you might as well miss. Might as well miss big.
High in the air to center. There will be no walk-off for the Cardinals tonight. The Nats win it 5-4. Well, Mike, you salvage one. It's a 2-5 road trip. Max Scherzer goes tomorrow night back home. Quite a ball game, and the Nats finally win a one-run game.
Yeah, this has got to feel like a feel-good day for the bullpen. A couple good innings, and you know what? A little something there for Glover right there. He was in a big situation and he got out of it. And you know, this is something I think Davey's going to just remember.
Great baseball theater in the 9th inning tonight at Busch Stadium.